Where's your devotion? Where's your devotion? Hi Capricorn, welcome to Maddie Tarot. I'm Maddie, and today we're going to be doing a Capricorn reading, a general reading for Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus placements for December 1st through 15th, 2022. So keep in mind this is a general reading. It may not resonate for everybody from front to back. Just take what resonates and leave the rest. You may need to swap roles throughout the reading. I am just reading energy and doing my best to put together a story based on the messages that are coming through. So I could be talking about you, your person, another individual, or party at any time throughout the reading. Swap roles as necessary. Do not overextend yourself or stretch to make it fit. If it's not your story, it's not your story. Do check your other placements though, because your messages could be there. I just want to say thank you so much to anybody who is supporting this channel. Please like, comment, subscribe, leave feedback. I'm open to receiving feedback. I try to respond to everybody, and I greatly appreciate it. It's a passion of mine, and I'm so happy to have you guys here along for the journey. So thank you so much. I've already cleansed the space, cleansed the decks, pre-shuffled, and meditated on the collective conscious of Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus placements. So, what does Capricorn need to know? What does Capricorn need to know? Messages for Capricorn. All right, Spirit, show me. A card for Capricorn. A card for you, Capricorn. The Six of Wands. Okay. And person on Capricorn's mind. The Moon. Past energy that led to this. The Ace of Swords. Present energy. Present energy between the two of you. The Three of Coins. Alrighty. Intuition. Capricorn's intuition. The Seven of Coins. And challenge. Judgment. Advice. Capricorn's advice. The Nine of Coins. Guidance. Person on Capricorn's mind. What are they thinking? How are they feeling? And what's their next move? What are they thinking? How are they feeling? And what's their next move? Person on Capricorn's mind. The Two of Swords. Bias or caution. What does Capricorn need to be cautious of or have any biases toward? Bias toward, like maybe. Bias or biases? 10 of Coins. And then your guidance. Capricorn's guidance. Capricorn, your guidance. 6 of Swords. At the bottom of the deck, you've got the Queen of Wands. All right, let's pull a crystal card. Oh, there. You got two. Let's see. Symbiote and Jadeite. Symbiote and Jadeite. There you go. Symbiote and Jadeite. All right, so Symbiote, if I'm saying that correctly. This stone is often mistaken for amber, and like amber, it emits a warm, powerful energy. It has been known to wake up the chakras and provide motivation. Holding this in your hand during meditation seems to lift your spirit out of the fog of everyday life. And then Jadeite. Green Jadeite is the most common color. This creamy green stone is a symbol of peace and purity. Held to the forehead during meditation, it will bring vivid visions that often contain messages. It can allow you to dream of walking the astral plane. All right, so Capricorn, the message I'm getting here really is in regard to, how do I say? This has to do I hope you guys can see that. Let me just move this over, and we'll move this up a bit. All right. Capricorn, you are getting these messages coming through about a need for balance, a need for looking at inward, a need for accountability for your role in something. And I understand that you may feel as if you've done all that you could possibly do. But what accountability I mean here, but what I mean by accountability here is that, you know, sometimes we have to take into consideration, I mean, at all times actually, when we're dealing with somebody else, we have to take into consideration how that person is feeling. And when we can do this, it's not about what our intentions were. It's not about if we meant to do something. It's not about what we perceive our behavior and actions to be. If we care about someone, we care about the way they are receiving our behavior, our actions, our words. We care about learning about them. Not everyone loves the same. People have different love languages. People have different meanings that they assign to words. People have different perceptions. They have different experiences that have led them to where they are in life, and they have different triggers that make up their mind, and this intricate web of personal experience. And if we love somebody, we aim to not only know what they like, want, and what ways do they feel appreciated, and how can we highlight those things so we can support them in their being their best self and loving them in the best way possible. Not only that, but we also take note of their sensitivities, and we navigate around those things, because why would you want to hurt the person you love? Instead of telling someone you should not feel that way, or you have no right to feel that way, it's just accept the fact that you're not the same person. And so it's okay if you don't feel that way about that. But do you care about how they feel? That's the question. That's the real question. And I think when we think accountability, we think, oh gosh, I'm being blamed for something. I am being railroaded. It's pointing fingers at me. It's not about that. It's about, do you care about this person's feelings? That's it. And so that's the message really I'm getting here. And this could be reversed. This could be something that your person needs to hear. Maybe you're the one feeling like your person needs to take accountability. Maybe you both need to take accountability. Let's get further into this reading and see what's going on. So on your end, Capricorn, you've got the 6 of Wands. You want your flowers. You want to be recognized for your effort. So which is why I'm really leaning on the idea that I think that you're kind of hesitant to take accountability for certain things because of the amount of effort that you know in your knowing that you've put forward. And just so you're aware, I'm going to run through these quickly and then we'll go back into further detail. This is hesitant. You're hesitant of doing this though, because you're like, I've done everything I can do. I've worked toward this. And look, 9 of Swords, it hurts to hear. It hurts your pride. 6 of Wands is pride. That's also recognition. It's also validation. And the 9 of Swords is pain. It's trauma. What I'm getting here is it really hurts to hear the things that this person might be saying, because you look at it and you're like, well, you don't appreciate anything I do. You don't even see anything I do, it seems like. And so, I mean, that can be, that's understandable. And I think what this person is really feeling is largely insecure due to the way something is being perceived that you have done. And that is where the disconnect is. It's not necessarily that you have done anything bad or wrong. It's more about how this person is feeling in regard to these things, and do you care about that, Capricorn? So they're feeling very insecure here, and the Magician, they may go about ways of pleasing you. They may go about ways of trying to work for your love, trying to maybe put things on the line or anticipate what you may need based on what their idea of what you need is. So, in other words, people pleasing. They could potentially be going about these ways. The Magician here could talk about, well, the Magician with the moon. So something is hidden, something is not fully. It could even be hidden to them as well. Maybe they're not aware of this. People pleasing is a subconscious strategy that the people pleasing part is conscious. We do, people who people please, they do consciously know that they're trying to give to someone, but they don't know that it's necessarily out of fear and actually something that is self-serving, because they're trying to get approval, and they're trying to gain acceptance and love. And it ends up pushing people away. And so it looks like maybe that's part of this, is that you don't really acknowledge that. And maybe this person feels so hurt by that. And maybe you're not really aware of how that's going on a deeper level. Again, this is subconscious. So it looks like in the past, Ace of Swords, Queen of Swords, in the past there was some sort of boundary that was not drawn, and the truth of the matter that came out here is something that hurt both of you. And so what I'm getting here is that due to a lack of boundaries, there was a lack of truth. And due to this, it has caused a disruption between the two of you. But I see in the present moment that you guys are working together on this together. I'm sorry, that just said that. You guys are working together on this, slowly but surely. There is effort here. There's teamwork, there's collaboration. It looks like you guys are entering a new phase of this connection, in which it's refreshing, because it's been a long road to get here. And the Eight of Wands changes. A lot has to change, not only on your end, Capricorn, but theirs too. So again, this is not about pointing fingers or blaming anybody. It's about taking accountability. And accountability can simply be said this way, is that things happened, right? Objectively, without getting personal, something happened. We all have actions. You have actions. That person has actions. Those actions affect the other person in certain ways. That's all taking accountability is acknowledging that certain actions made somebody feel a certain way. And it's not about blaming or finger pointing or saying it's your fault. It's about, do you care about how that person feels? If you do, take accountability for what happened and what made them feel that way. It's as simple as that. It doesn't have to be it doesn't have to be a big deal. And it actually just allows the problem to go away and dissipate. And so the Queen of Pentacles here is, your intuition's telling you to not only be supportive, but the Seven of Coins is to put the work into the garden to try and cultivate something and build something here, because you want this. You want this. And you gotta water the garden. The grass is only greener where you water it. The grass is only greener where you water it. And if you want to be really real, relationships get really hard. We come to a point where we have to climb this huge rock wall, it seems, and it's like, oh gosh, this is difficult. And it might look like the grass is greener on the other side, but what we fail to see is that down any new road comes a time where the road curves. And right around that curve is that rock wall, because that rock wall is not just the other person. It is more having to do with us. And so the rock wall we come face to face with is our own insecurities, our own fears, our own triggers. And that is why, it's very important in a relationship to take accountability. And it's very important to understand you can't change somebody. You can only change yourself. And you have to accept the other person. If you're not willing to accept the other person how they are, then it's just not something you're willing to do. And that's fine. But the point I am making here is that you're going to hit that rock wall. It's not this person. If you don't, the issues you don't face here will be repeated in the next relationship. So it's about taking accountability and facing those issues. And I know that's really hard to do, but we all have to do it. Your challenge here is to look inward, hold yourself accountable, awakening, judgment, clarified by the Two of Swords. Your challenge here is to break out of this stalemate, is to break out of this, it's opposing forces of the same strength pushing against each other and butting heads, and so nobody's budging. And it's, judgment. By taking accountability, it doesn't mean you agree with the person, but you can at least say, yes, I did this. Yes, it made you feel that way. I'm sorry. Not I'm sorry that you feel that way. I'm sorry I did that. And I understand how it made you feel that way. Here's some sort of negotiation or compromise that I can do in order to navigate around that, to make sure you don't feel that way again, because I care about how you feel. That's what it's about. And so you got to take the initiative to do that. And your advice here is the Nine of Coins. Your advice here is to understand that if you don't want to do this, then maybe you need to have more time being on your own and being independent, because independence is great, but when you are in a relationship, it's about interdependence. And so the King of Cups here, your advice, I'm thinking, don't shoot the messenger, because I'm just the messenger, but what I'm getting here is emotional regulation and understanding that you got to give and take a bit in a relationship. It's not always, you can't be fiercely independent, and you can't expect the other person to you can't say that's your problem that you feel that way. You can't do that in a relationship, because the facts are that our behavior has an effect on other people. And if we're in a relationship, it's about, yes, I am responsible for my own happiness, and so is everyone else. However, if I'm interacting with somebody and their behavior doesn't make me happy, doesn't feel good, why would I continue interacting with that person? And so you have to ask that same question for yourself. If someone's behavior doesn't make you feel good, why would you continue interacting with them? Would you want to be in a relationship with that person? No. But if two people want to be in a relationship, they need to take into account those things about each other and care about those things. And if they're not willing to do that, whether it's you or this person, doesn't matter. If someone's not willing to do that, then they don't need to be in a relationship. And so, clarifying the Two of Swords here with the Five of Swords. And so what I'm getting here is that your challenge here is to take accountability and get out of this gridlock. This person, their next move is to remain in this gridlock because they've got a lot of resentment, Five of Swords. And it looks like based on, I can't say for sure, but based on the people pleasing up here, I believe this person has tried their best, at least within their knowing and their reality and what they know and what they think about they can do. They've tried their best to try and get out of that gridlock. It looks like that didn't work though. And so maybe if you put forth another foot and try to get things to shift a bit, I think this person will come around. I don't think they want to be in this energy. And so your bias here is the Ten of Coins. Your bias here has something to do with your own foundations, roots, experiences, something that has built up within you and that has been carried around. And so I believe your bias here is that you may look, like I just said about the rock wall, you may look at this person as the face of the problem, but really what you're not seeing is that this issue likely stems back to something before them. This pain existed within you prior. This anger, whatever it may be, existed within you prior, and you just have now gotten to put this person's face on it. 5 of Cups here. Your bias here is that you're grieving, and this remorse, and I'm sorry, this bereavement you're going through about this loss, because I do believe you guys are working together, but like you're butting heads. And so like your sadness essentially is not due to just this person. It's not only this person that needs to change. In relationships, you both need to change. You know why? Because you both are different people and you both are learning how to operate with each other. You can't expect someone to change. But when you change, guess what? The other person will change as well. And that's just how relationships work. It's one of the hardest things in relationships, but it is worth it. So focus on your behavior and you will facilitate the change you are looking for. The 6 of Swords here is your guidance. Lessons, learning, moving on, making a transition from an old pattern to new patterns, applying the lesson. And so I believe, Capricorn, you're on the precipice of this. You know the answer. I don't have to tell you. You know the answer and you want to commit to this person. And that is your guidance here. So, the Queen of Wands and the 7 of Cups. Have the confidence, have the self-confidence enough to put down the swords, take accountability, step forward, and stop with the illusion or the keeping this person feels like an option. But that is because you haven't fully stepped forward to commit. It's kind of like a 1 foot in, 1 foot out the door. And you likely feel like this person does that. And again, it's not about pointing fingers. It's a matter of the dynamic that is created was created by the both of you. And so if you got 1 foot in, 1 foot out, they will too. And if you want something to change, you can't sit around and wait for the other person to change it or demand that they change it. You need to make the change. That goes for everybody across the board. If this was them, I would be telling them the same thing. So you can't force people to change. If you want to see a change, be the change you want to see. Period. Let's get into this a little further detailed. Okay. So 6 of Wands here. You want your recognition, your flowers. You do a lot. You do a lot. And you want to be recognized for that because you feel very underappreciated when that doesn't happen. And so 9 of Swords here, it hurts you that it doesn't happen. It hurts you when this person, what you perceive to be, they point their finger at you and they say, you've done this, you did this, you did that. And you're like, dang, I thought I was doing pretty good. Like, why would I want to stay with somebody who thinks this of me? And so it made you retreat and withdraw. And I understand. I mean, we all feel that way when we get criticized. Now, this person, though, is coming from a place of pain, insecurity, hurt. They've been triggered as well. And so can we acknowledge, you both could acknowledge that within each other if you start to talk about the feelings instead of the actions. And that the Magician here tells me that there was some sort of manipulation, but it's subconscious. So it's like, this is something illusion in the mind. There's some sort of hidden truth here. And the Magician, so, creator. And what it is people pleasing, because people pleasing is manipulation. It's just subconscious. They don't know. People who people please do not know that it's not that they don't care. It's not that they're trying to manipulate you. It's not that they're trying to flatter you, or it's not that they're trying to, they do care. They are very into you. They are very interested. They are in love. They are genuinely doing something because they enjoy you smiling and they enjoy spending time with you. At the same time, though, it is done out of a place of fear in order to seek acceptance and approval and gain validation and love. And that is why it is manipulative, because it's done from a fear-based place. And again, it's subconscious. They don't even know they're doing it. They don't even know they're doing it. They really, truly have themselves believing it's not because they're trying to manipulate or win you over. And so it makes you on your end feel like, what this, is this person being genuine? Because something about it's a little off, and you might have picked up on that. And that might be a large part of the hurt, because you might be saying to this person, maybe you say something like, you didn't want me. You didn't really want me. And this person probably is like, what are you talking about? you know? Because they did actually want you, and it's a little deeper than that, and they're figuring it out. And so in the past here, the truth was hidden because there weren't boundaries in place to allow you guys to be yourselves. So boundaries allow you to connect in a healthy way, and when you're operating out of fear or they are operating out of fear, there's not boundaries that are set. So there's performed and orchestrated intimacy going on that is largely a survival technique instead of a conscious awareness and a healthy relationship. And so what I'm getting here is that these boundaries that were needed in order for the truth to prevail. And because of that not happening, that is where that led you guys to these moments. But look at this, in the present, there are changes being made toward an exerted effort, a co-collaborative effort. I believe you guys are working this out. And in your intuition, I can see that, because you want to put this effort in, the 7 of Coins. And you want to be receiving of the love. You want to be nurturing. You want to be giving. You want to be supportive. And your intuition's asking you to do so, but you're having a bit of a challenge, Capricorn, because it's hard to accept that maybe this person hasn't seen all that you have done. And it's hard to accept that maybe some of the things that you have done out of defending yourself have really hurt this person. But guess what? We all do it. So no need to be ashamed of that. Just make it right. And how you make it right is putting your pride aside and saying, you know what? I didn't intend to do this. However, I understand that this behavior made you feel this way. And I care about that. And so that would get you out of this gridlock here. This person here in this photo, they're running through the forest. It's nighttime. They're running through the forest. The 2 of Swords is blocking out the moon here. They're running through the forest. She's right there, and she's holding a torch. She's desperately trying to find the way. This person is lost. And I believe if you just take the time to look inward, judgment, you would find your way, Capricorn. You would find your way. So maybe you do need to be, your advice here is to be a little, stand on your own for a moment and really look into your heart space and ask yourself these hard questions. Also understand that it takes a bit of give and take in order to be in a relationship. Interdependence is very important in a relationship. You have to have a sense of independence. Yes, that's vital. But you cannot be hyper independent in a relationship and expect that this person takes care of all their feelings are on them, and I don't have any responsibility for that. You feel how you feel, that's not my problem. That's not ever going to work. So it does take a bit of humility and understanding that they do feel how they feel, and that certainly is your problem, because if you don't make it a collaborative effort to find negotiation and compromise to solve these things, this person and you are both not going to enjoy the relationship, and that's just that. Now, this person's next move, their feelings and how they and what they're thinking. They're thinking heavily about. They have a lot of resentment. They have a lot of resentment here, but there's something else with the Five of Swords. It's regret, and so that tells me right here, this gridlock, the Two of Swords here, with this resentment plus the regret, this person misses you, and they want so badly to solve this. They want so badly to fix and reconcile with you. Your bias here has to do with the pain you felt and the loss you feel. The something, your grieving process has largely been pointed toward this person. What you're not seeing is that this pain existed within you prior. It's only been triggered and has a new face. New face, same case. New face, same case. Our problems follow us around. Take a deeper look and see that, when have you felt this way before? Be really honest with how you're feeling. When have you been made to feel that way prior? Is this maybe something that this person didn't mean to make you feel? Could you become more curious about the situation and that person's intentions and how that person feels as well? And could you take all that and put it together in this mix of understanding maybe you're both hurting? And if you both are hurting and you both care about each other, I don't see why you can't come together to find a solution. There are lessons here that have been learned, and you are transitioning and moving into a new space with this person. Six of Swords. Along with lessons and growth is pain. It's painful. It doesn't feel nice, but it's worth it. And you know this truth, and you want to give this person, you want to extend the olive branch and give this person, you want to commit to this person. And so, Capricorn, have the confidence to lift the illusions and understand that love is not always the fairy tale daydream. Sometimes it hurts. And a huge misconception that we have about the right person will not always know how to love us right, because we are all uniquely individual, and that no two people in the world have the same exact experiences and way of relating to love. Sure, there are similarities, and that's lovely. However, the right person will not know how to love you right. You must communicate your specific needs, your specific sensitivities, your specific pain points. You must communicate these things, and you must also accept the other person's needs, sensitivities, pain points, and you guys work together to navigate those things and create a beautiful, fulfilling relationship. That is the point. You can't just expect somebody to know, because you got to know yourself first in order to communicate it to them. And then if they want to step up to the plate and do the job, if they say, oh, I like that, and I can do that, then they will. But here we got travel here. I'm getting here with travel is move toward this person. I believe that you guys you have some sort of distance in between you, whether or not it's a few miles or whether or not it is states or oceans. You need to go toward this person. And if not physically, make the effort do FaceTime them, video chat, Zoom, call them, whatever it is, but be honest. Be really honest. I think you've got quite a few lingering questions within you, if you're being honest with yourself, that you have maybe pushed off and said, no, I don't want to look at that. Drop the arrogance. This is not to attack anybody. This is healing. I do this for healing. And I'll say right now, I've been very arrogant in my life. We all have these qualities. It's just human nature. Our ego holds on. We don't want to let go of our way we've done things and that we know, but it's very necessary in order to cleanse. If you don't like the situation you're in and you're feeling bad, understand that you're the only one that can change that. And how do you do that? You change the way that you relate to the world and that you operate. You can't change other people. So understand that. Don't shame yourself. Just understand that you have to take responsibility for these things. If you want fulfillment, then you need to be really honest, and you need to stop holding on to a way of being, because this way of being has at least 50% of the reason that you are here in this state, that you're in this state of emotion and feeling. You are 100% responsible for the 50% you bring to the relationship. You are 100% responsible for the 50% you bring to the relationship. So you are at least 50% responsible. I'm sorry, let's put it this way. You're 100% responsible for where you are in life. And you're at least 50% responsible for these emotions you're feeling. But nobody else can change your emotions. You have to choose to do that, okay? Judgment separates. Less judgment, more curiosity. Less judgment, more curiosity. Instead of saying, well, I don't see it that way and I don't like that. And who would see it that way? Instead of saying that, maybe try to understand why this person came to see that way. What led them to see things differently? How could they, a better question to ask is, instead of, how could they possibly think that way? It could be like, how could they possibly think that way? They clearly are thinking that way. Do you think this person's stupid? And I would think you would say no. You don't. So how could they possibly think that way? That would be a really good, curious question to ask. So Capricorn, I see greatness here. This is a very strong connection. It's a matter of getting the gears going and working together again, because they've been grinding for far too long now. And only you can decide if you want to make that happen or not. Okay? So that is all I have for you today, Capricorn. I really hope that helped. All right. Thank you.
Feel like we've reached a crossroads. Ooh, don't you hate them ultimatums? But we need a revelation to save us. Stuck in the moment, it seems. The more I think, the more I don't know. I'm looking for a sign. Where's your devotion?